Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has concluded its first week of beta testing, but the second weekend is just around the corner. Regardless of your opinion on Call of Duty, you cannot deny it is one of the juggernauts of the gaming industry. There is always hype and anticipation over each yearly release. So we've gotten a bit of a taste of the multiplayer mode in Black Ops 6. How does it fare? Keep watching for my first impressions on Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Just like every year, this beta gives us access to a small handful of maps and modes as a bit of a teaser of what is to come when the game releases in late October. On the modes, we got to play many of the classics like Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirm, Domination, and Hardpoint. There was also a new mode called Kill Order, which is basically Team Deathmatch, except each team has a high-valued target that has extra armor, but if you can take them down, it will grant your team extra points. While we got 4 core 6v6 maps, we also got to play on 2 strike maps, which were specifically designed to have as much chaos as possible in each gunfight. The strike maps are significantly smaller and score streaks are disabled, so there is no time to breathe as you are constantly spawning, killing, dying and respawning to repeat it all over again. I will quickly say none of the maps we played I would describe as 3-lane maps. While some of the previous games like Black Ops 4 really tried to exaggerate and emphasize map design to have 3 specific lanes with cross-branching paths, Black Ops 6 tends to have spaces that are more believable, whether it be in an underground cave system or an overgrown railway line. Normally I prefer the 3-lane map style. I, for instance, didn't enjoy Modern Warfare 2019 as much because I felt that map design and that gameplay encouraged you to slow down between engagements and play a much more passive, defensive, and dare I say, campy game style. But here, Black Ops 6 urges you to push, slide, and dive around every single angle, and demanding you respond to aggression with more aggression. I finished games absolutely exhausted because of how fast-paced this game was designed to be, and it's all thanks to the big change for this year in Call of Duty, and that's Omnimovement. In Black Ops 6, your character can sprint in any direction, allowing you to maintain a higher movement speed while still being aware of your surroundings. But you can also choose between sliding along the ground or diving mid-air to surprise your foes, and once again, in any direction. Instead of slowly peeking around the corner to tactically dispel your enemies, Black Ops 6 encourages you to take the fight with as much speed and flair as possible, ensuring each gunfight looks like a Hollywood blockbuster film or a Max Payne experience. While you can mount and lean around a corner, diving around corners or even backwards whilst killing someone mid-air is the way to go, and it was absolutely ridiculous.
5 in a row by my count.
But I have to say it was exhilarating, fun, and even raises the skill gap. It took me some time to adjust, but once I'd shaken off the cobwebs, I felt like an absolute demon, and I was begging for more by the time the beta ended. There is a tutorial to give you some assistance in helping you understand these new mechanics, but with a bit of match experience, you'll soon learn how to best apply Omnimovement during your gunfights. There are also plenty of movement settings available, including sprint, mantle, and crouch assist, which essentially can help you navigate obstacles with less button presses. I personally did find it great for sliding through vents or small gaps, but you can fine-tune these settings to your desire. Of course, we have the return of score streaks, gunsmith, and creator class, allowing you to kit out with a variety of perks, field upgrades, grenades, weapons, and attachments, as is the Call of Duty staple. But the Omnimovement really is the star of the show, and whilst I can only talk about my experience, I did feel this game really favors the player who takes the initiative to pick up an SMG and just go for broke, engaging in as many fights as possible. Now, I'm going to give you a controversial take, but please hear me out, although I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments if you agree or disagree with what I'm about to say. If I had to pick a game that this Call of Duty reminded me of the most, it would honestly be Sledgehammer's Advanced Warfare. Yes, I firmly believe that this game reminds me of the Exo-Movement future iteration of Call of Duty, because whilst that game didn't feature jetpacks and wall running like Black Ops 3, that game did have an Exo Dodge, where a quick burst of speed will allow you to quickly strafe in any direction. The Omnimovement in Black Ops 6 honestly does the same thing, but you are diving mid-air and often flying past people, having to turn the weapon mid-air to stay on target. My point is that while this is a boots-on-ground Call of Duty, expect a lot of your gunfights to be crazy, mid-air diving and gunning your way through intense firefights and explosions. By the way, it didn't happen for me often, but don't forget, if you sneak behind an enemy in this game, whilst you can execute a takedown, you can also grab them as a human shield, all included with proximity chat. And once again, this ties into the absolute off-the-rails gameplay Black Ops 6 is striving for.
Let them get away with this. 5 kills, getting loose. That's a kill.
I will say quickly, from a technical point of view, I ran this game on PC with a 3080 Ti and an Intel Core i7 processor, and I could get this game going at around 70 frames per second at 4K with DLSS on, but dropping to around 50 in some hectic gunfights. Most of the time I played at 1080p with DLSS off. I left the FPS counter up on screen for you to see, but most of the time I was getting around 130 during those hectic gunfights. I think the game looked great on PC, and for the most part, I was clearly able to identify enemies, and I didn't have too much trouble, whereas in Modern Warfare 2019, I found people were blending in with the environments. But again, that may be due to the gameplay, as in this game, people were constantly running, sliding, and diving all over the shop. Since Modern Warfare 2019, Call of Duty has pushed the boundaries for graphics in a multiplayer first-person shooter. I just wish they would also stop pushing the file sizes. While I still had to use the Call of Duty launcher when going through Game Pass, I could at least choose some of the files I didn't want, so I wasn't forced to download last year's Modern Warfare 3. Sound design was great, particularly I'll say when you get a one-shot kill with the sniper in this game, the feedback for me was incredibly satisfying, and I really enjoyed pretending I was 12 again and hitting some real neat quickscopes and maybe some fortunate no-scopes. I personally really enjoyed my time with the Black Ops 6 beta, and it will be live again this weekend, so check online for region-specific times to give it a whirl. It will be open for all players, no pre-order required. Of course, this was just an impression, but my first impressions were very positive, and if you're like me and you really enjoy that fast-paced, frantic 6v6 gunplay where the focus isn't too much on teamwork or timing abilities, but rather twitch reflexes and movement mastery, then I really do think there is a lot here on offer in Black Ops 6, and I'm excited to see what else is in store when the game releases later in October. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and don't forget to leave a comment below with your own opinions on Call of Duty Black Ops 6. If you liked what you see, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next video, as I'll be doing a full review on Call of Duty Black Ops 6 when it does drop. Thanks for watching, Lancy out.
HVT on site. Take him out.